I'm going to trace out this running horse and cut it from different material. This is the paper diagram I used to trace. The paper diagram is about 33 by 29 inches. It's a real good size. Here I'm using Logic Trace 2018, and we're going to digitize this paper diagram and produce DXF files that I can use to cut wood, acrylic, or steel. The larger the paper diagram is, the easier it is to trace, especially if there's a lot of small parts. I also mark my start spot with a red pencil. That way I don't overrun where I've started. I'll trace out the whole horse perimeter in one go and save it. You can see here it's coming along. I'm tracing out the whole perimeter of the horse, and once I get back to my start spot, the computer will close it up and that'll be a closed vector. Now if you made a mistake here, you'd have to restart because the edit command puts you right back to the start spot. But once you save each part, then you can go back to that part and edit it. But as far as the perimeter goes, if I make a mistake, I'll have to start from the red mark again. Shown here, I'm tracing in all the small parts. And because these are separate draws, they can be edited easily with the edit command. That one small part there on the right hand side, it kind of looks like I might have drew that twice. So I can leave that and just take it out with the node editor. When I'm finished, I'm going to cut this horse out in different sizes, from a small horse about 12 inches to a large horse about 40 inches wide for gates. Once that file is a DXF file, you can make it any size and it stays proportional. Using a CO2 laser, you could actually cut this horse out the size of a brooch. Again, you can see the red marks that I put on the paper diagram because I don't want to trace over that spot twice. That'll cause a crossed vector, something you just have to edit out later. Anything to save node editing is worthwhile. We're almost finished up here, and I'll create the DXF file. Once I've saved that file, I'll load that file into Vectric Aspire 10.0, have a look at the quality of the vector, and do any editing that's required. There was a small spot here, I had to edit that out. I I always like to run the simulator just to see how the piece is going to look. And again, Vectric Aspire 10.0 does not create a toolpath for plasma or a CO2 laser. I'm using it here to prepare the DXF file. This acrylic sheet is really old. It's like bottle ends. I call it retro acrylic. All those pieces that you see cut there, they'll just fall away when I pick up the horse. This is the finished cut. Here I put the piece in the window to give it some backlight. Now I'm going to do the same cut on the same file, but I'm going to use mahogany 1/4-inch plywood. And just for something different, I'm going to fit that acrylic piece back in the plywood where the horse is cut out of, like an inlay. Gives it a real contrasting look. Here I combine the wood horse and the acrylic. Now we're going to prepare that DXF file for a plasma cut. The file is loaded into the plasma software and adjustments have to be made how it's cut. Shown here is a large horse cut and two side by side. This is the 12-inch cut for weather vanes.